Hey everybody, it's Derek with The Ultimate Hang, and I just got this amazing package from Kammok last night, and I wanted to come down to the lab. I want to put it on the scale, check it out, and show you. Well, hold on. This isn't even released yet. This is a brand new hammock from Kammok that's coming out on Kickstarter this week. I've got a first-hand look at it, and I want to show you all about it. So I'm going to throw it on the scale, give you a couple of specs, and then I want to head out into the field, into the snow, and set it up so you can see how it looks. So here it is. You ready? This is the Kammok Mantis. Now, there's two versions. This is the ultralight. They also have a regular version. What do I mean by all-in-one? An all-in-one hammock, if you have my book, I've outlined all the different styles of hammock. And when you have a hammock that has the bug net, the tarp, the guy lines, the stakes, everything, just like you would expect for a tent, picking it off the shelf, an all-in-one hammock is designed as a camping kit. You can just take, you've got your sleeping bag and pad, just like you would for a tent. You can throw it into this kit and go. So there's not a lot of all-in-one hammock kits out there. So Hennessy was one of the first, Clark Jungle Hammock, Hammock, Tensile, and now Kammok. Now I've got to give props to Kammok because they started off as just a regular recreational hammock, the Roo that a lot of you are familiar with. It's a very comfortable, large hammock. Kammok just really spends a lot of time. I love the R&D they spend, the attention to detail, the manufacturing. These hammocks are made, the stitching, the craft, everything about this is just really well put together. Oh, all right, let's get the scale. Okay, scale. All right, here we go. Let's zoom in. Looks like on my scale, let's say 2.2 ounces. So that's full pack weight. And that's everything, all right? That's got 6 stakes. You got 2 really nice carabiners, all the guy lines, the pullouts, everything, tarp as well. And here's a couple of specs real quick. So 2 versions. We've got the ultralight and the regular. The ultralight capacity, 300 pounds. The regular Mantis, 500 pounds capacity. They're really close to the full pack weight. The regular says here 2 pounds, 12 ounces. We just weighed mine just slightly over 2 pounds. Great pack weight. The other really cool thing I want to show you before I go out into the field, the stuff sack is waterproof. It is really like a siliconized ripstop. It's got this really fine diamond ripstop fabric. But inside, check this out. Oh, here's the 2 suspension straps. See inside there? There's actually a membrane, a waterproof membrane. Can you see that? Inside the stuff sack to separate the tarp and the hammock. So you can stuff it wet. It's not going to wet it out. And there's enough space to just pack this down. Real quick too, check this out. This is the new Python ultralight strap. It's a daisy chain, woven, not stitched. So really lightweight, packs down small, and it goes from about 3/4 of an inch, and then it broadens to 2 inches. But look at that, it's really interesting. So it distributes the weight around your anchor point, keeps the damage minimal, especially around a tree. Anyway, let's go take this out into the field. I'm going to break this down so you can see how it looks out in the snow. Let's go.
Alright, before I put on the underquilt and insulation, I wanted to kind of show you some of the really cool details of the Mantis ultralight hammock. One thing you'll notice, of course, is it's the integrated bug net. It's new for Kammok, but really cool is that this bug net can zip all the way off. So it's got 4 zippers, see if I can show you that. They track all the way around, and this little top piece can pop off. I don't know if I can snap it with one hand though. There you go. And you can see where the zippers come apart right there. It's got an integrated ridge line, so you get a perfect pitch every time. Now you notice when I set this up, I put the foot end, which is right over here, a little bit higher than the head end intentionally. I slept in this last night and it was awesome, and that was one of the little tricks that I love about setting up hammocks. Now this bug net has, you can see over here, has a pull out right on the bug net, which I've done on the head end, and I've got the other tie out here on the foot end, and I'll show you what that looks like inside. Oh, looks like my head end popped off. I'll have to go fix that. But over here on the head end, there's little pillow pockets that you can put, you know, a headlamp, and it's on both sides. When I first got in the hammock last night, I read the instructions that said it was an omnidirectional hammock, which means you can sleep either head right or head left on the diagonal, and it works either way. It was dark and late, so I actually slept backwards. I had my head on the foot end, and it still slept just fine. So either way you go about it, if you feel more comfortable, you can find a great lay either way. But it's got those pockets on either side, so it doesn't really matter which way you lay. You're not going to lose your storage. So again, you can make this into a netless mode. It has this really cool tie out here, so you can gather up the bug netting. I'll show you that when I get inside. Whew. All right, here we are inside the Mantis. You see how on the foot end, I've rolled up the bug net and attached it right up here. It's got a nice little toggle. And if you've got it tied out like I do, you know, it can lift up that bug net easy in and out without getting the bug net in your face. Let's see if I can undo this with one hand. There we go. I'm gonna zip us in here. The zippers come together right at the perfect spot on both sides, so as you're laying in the hammock, they're within easy reach. Now I'm 5'10" and a little bit, and you can see I still have some room down at my foot end. So if you're taller, so 6 foot, maybe a little bit over 6 feet, should fit just fine in this hammock. Nice flat lay, no calf strain. Reach up all the way. You can see that I'm reaching my hand. I've got a nice headroom here in the hammock. And then again, over here, I can just tuck in a headlamp. So it's basically a shelf on this one side. On the opposite side, it's pulled out, and I've got, I don't know if you can see that, I've got a little pocket. Let's get out and show you the tarp. Let's pitch the tarp. So it's got a basic hexagonal shape, slight catenary curves on the peaks, and it looks like a fairly straight curve on the edges, maybe mildly catenary, but I wouldn't worry too much about that because they've got that center point guy out. I will say the guy line is adequately long. I don't know if I can get back far enough for you to see this, but I pitched this tarp and I've got the guy line going all the way to these different corners, tucked into the rocks, tucked into the trees, and it's got the really easy to use line locks can see here, quick tug on the line tightens it. Flip it up to loosen it. And you've also got tarp, or I should say a trekking pole. You can put a trekking pole on that connection. Nice reinforced edges. Look at those, look at the hemline though. Look how tight that is. It looks like it's been reinforced with a little bit of ribbon to finish it off. It's not, I don't think it's a rolled hem from what I can tell. It just looks like it's been a really very fine. I mean, this is a really well done, nice craftsmanship. The guy lines for the ridgeline are a little bit longer, and they do have those really cool hooks on the end to make connections really simple. Plenty of coverage for that tarp. All right, here we are, the Kammok Mantis, nestled up here in the mountains. I found a really cool spot. A little bit of wind, but the boulders around me keeping me protected. Pop my shoes off and we'll get in this hammock. When I introduced this hammock, we talked about the fabric. Kammok has developed a new line of fabric, not only for the bug netting, they've got a new fabric for the body of the hammock and also the tarp. This ultralight fabric that they're using is a high tensile strength, and they're using it in some of the other hammocks that are coming out this spring. But it's a really kind of a silky, smooth, soft feel. It's a good combination actually. It's not super stretchy like some ultralight nylon hammocks are. I mean, I slept really comfortably last night. Looking forward to doing it again tonight. Oh yeah. I fixed my side pull out. Got a pocket over here. I don't really need a bug net tonight, but I don't know what Kammok has in store. I know they're working on their Kickstarter here in a little bit, but if I were to guess, this bug net, because it can zip all the way off, you could put on a winter cover on top of this and make this a great 4-season shelter. Inside the hammock, on both sides, I don't know if you can see this on the camera here, there's gear loops on the inside and on the outside. Gear loops on the inside, they're matching, and also up in the peak. So there's the possibility of connecting a peak bag or a gear loft on both sides. The exterior loops are in a perfect position if you've got an underquilt, can connect really easy to the outside. I think there's also one right here in the middle. Let's see. Oh yeah, right here. There's so many pull-outs. You can create tie-outs to open up the hammock any way you'd like. It comes with 2, so you can create either a symmetrical, asymmetrical, or double on one side. It's got these really cool aluminum hooks. I think I'll show you a picture of that can hook onto any one of these. So for example, this bug net, there are clips right on the bottom here, so you can pull it out right by your feet. I mean, this is just super cool. I can't even tell you, because there's so many hammocks that try to create kind of some adjustability, but they've dialed in right where your feet need to be, because that's where you want to have the pull out, is right near your feet, not by your knees, but to pull out by your feet. So they've got that already hooked up right here. I like to hook it right to where this toggle is, because when I'm in the hammock, it just really opens this up inside. But again, you can put it on low, you can put it high, you can put it in the middle, or on the gear loops on the side. And again, if you hook it onto the bug net side, like I have right now, when I've detached the hammock isn't being pulled out. You can open that up and it's not hanging in your face. The Mantis has this additional feature of rolling up the bug net and stowing it away. So again, nice roomy thing. I've tucked a little bit up here on the ridge line. The ridge line is also accessible inside the hammock, so that you can clip on accessories if you want to, hang and dry some clothing. That's pretty typical for most hammocks that have ridge lines. I've got a porch mode over here. I've got a storm mode on the back behind me. Because it's got the midpoint, I can angle in the ends and close those off as well, and kind of a pseudo door. It's not a complete closure, but just enough to kind of keep if there's wind or rain coming from the corners. So it's a really nice feature. I like that. I like having multiple tie-outs on a tarp. You've got ample coverage on both sides. It looks like about a foot or more I'll have to go measure it on the ends. So plenty of room. All right, time to pack up the Mantis Ultralight by Kammok.